Hey you guys, it's Yolanda here from My Pretty Brown Doll and My Crochet Life. I'm coming on to do what I hope is a quick video because I always say, hey, I'm coming to do a quick video and then the video be an hour. I'm coming to do what I hope is going to be a quick video. This is at the request of one of the participants in my Fall Doll Crochet Along 2020. I appreciate her stepping up and saying, hey, look, I've tried this a few times and it's not coming out the way everyone else is coming out, and I think I'm doing something wrong. She did send me a video of what she was doing, and I actually think we've already fixed her problem. But as promised, I am still going to do this video. Now, I am not about to sit here and make a whole head on camera because I am not the fastest crocheter. And because I want this to be a quick video, yeah, not making a whole head on camera. However, I will do a few rounds because what I specifically want to talk about is doing the single crochet stitch, what a single crochet looks like, because I think what we determined is that she was doing an extended single crochet versus a regular single crochet stitch. Also, crocheting in the continuous round, maintaining your tension, and just making sure that you have consistent, tight, even stitches throughout. Also increasing in what that looks like and how that determines how big or small your doll's head is going to be. So let me go ahead and stop rambling and go ahead and get started. I am using Red Heart Super Savers yarn in the color warm brown for this quick tutorial or quick example. I do have a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook, and before this video started, I did hunt down a stitch marker because if you know anything about me, she don't be having no stitch markers, but you do need them. Don't be like me. Make sure you have your stitch markers. Stitch markers are super important when you are crocheting in the continuous round. I do start my amigurumi with the magic ring. This is how I make my magic ring. There are several different ways to make a magic ring, but this is how I make mine. So I am going to take the yarn. This is the working yarn from the skein, and I'm going to hold this between these two fingers and my thumb. I'm going to wrap this around, creating an X on those two fingers, and then I'm going to take my thumb to hold that in place. I am then going to kind of flip my hand around so we can see the front part of my fingers. I am going to take my crochet hook, insert it underneath this front loop, and then I'm going to pull up a loop from that back yarn. I can then now slide this off my fingers, holding it in place, slide it off my fingers, and then I am going to do a slip stitch to hold that in place. The slip stitch is simply yarning over and pulling through the one loop that is on your hook. That does not count as a stitch for me. That is just holding my magic ring in place. That is securing my magic ring. Now what I am going to do is actually do the number of stitches that the pattern calls for. In this particular case, it says to do 6 single crochet in the ring. It is important to note for me, when I am doing the single crochet in the ring, I do those crochet stitches over both parts of this. So I try not to just do it under one part. I do single crochet over the tail as well as the ring itself. And so to do the single crochet stitch, we are going to take our hook. We're going to insert it into the loop. We are going to pull up a loop, which then creates 2 loops on your hook. We are then going to yarn over, and we are going to pull through both of those loops. That is your first single crochet stitch. Again, we are going to go through the loop. We are going to pull up a loop, creating 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and that is 2. And then we'll just continue that like the pattern says. We need 6 of those. We got 3. This is 4. This is 5, and this is 6. Once I have my 6, I am then going to take that tail and I can now pull this close. So we can now pull that close, and we have our 6 stitches to start our head. At this point in time, you do need to go ahead and put your stitch marker into that last stitch so that we know we have made it to the end of the round, because there will be no joining. We are going to go right into the next round. The next round says that we are going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch around. And again, to do the single crochet stitch, a regular single crochet stitch, we are going to insert our hook under both loops of the last stitch. You see how it goes under the front and the back loop of the last stitch? We are then going to yarn over to pull up a loop. We now have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull through both. That is 1 single crochet stitch. And now we're just going to do another one right into that same stitch. So we got 2. We're going to do 2 here. That's 4. We're going to do 2 here. This is 5 and this is 6. Going to do 2 here. This is 7 and this is 8. Going to do 2 here. This is 9 and this is 10. Right into that same loop. And then we should be back to our last stitch where we're going to put stitches 11 and 12. And this is stitch 11 and this is stitch 12, and we're going to put our stitch marker into the 12th stitch that we just made. All right, see how that looks? So this is what it should look like when you're doing the single crochet. Now I crochet a little bit looser than most people, but as you can still see, but they're still tight, consistent stitches. Again, if I didn't want that hole there, all I have to do is pull my little center pull here just a little bit tighter. But again, I still have tight, consistent stitches, even though I don't crochet the tightest. But we're going to go ahead and go into that next round. And the next round says we're going to single crochet 1 into 1 stitch and then 2, which is also known as an increase. So anytime you're doing more than 1 stitch into the same stitch, that is considered an increase. For crochet, particularly amigurumi, for the most part, you are doing what we call systematic increasing and decreasing, which means that you are increasing the same number of times on each round. For this particular design, you should be doing 6 increases on every round. You're adding 6 stitches on every single round. So on that first round, we started with 6. We added 6, which is why we had 12 stitches. We currently have 12. We're going to add 6 stitches. That's going to bring us to 18. And the way we do that, like I said, we're going to do 1 single crochet here and then 2 in the next stitch. 1 single crochet here and then 2 in the next stitch. So every other stitch we are doing an increase. And again, to do the single crochet, we're going to insert our hook underneath both loops of the last stitch of the last round. We're going to pull up a loop, which creates 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through both of those loops. And then for the next stitch, it requires that we do 2 because we're increasing on every other stitch. So we do 2 into that round. And let me pull a little bit more yarn loose here. So we did 2 there. So the next stitch, we're going to do 1. And then we're going to do 2 again, because again, we're increasing on every other stitch at this point. We're going to do 1 and 2 in this one. We're going to do 1 single crochet and 2 in this one. We're going to do 1 and 2 in the next one. We're going to do 1, and we should be doing 2 in the last stitch. So we got 1, and then I'll take my stitch marker out and we'll go ahead and put 2 here. And again, because I want to be clear of what that regular single crochet looks like, because like I said, the person who requested this video, in the video that they showed me, it looked like they were doing an extended single crochet. I'm not going to do an extended single crochet because I do not want to confuse anybody. And then you'd be like, wait, so which one do I do? We are doing single crochets. And for the single crochet, we insert our hook underneath both loops of the last stitch of the last round. and we're going to pull up a loop. Gives you 2 loops on your hook. You are going to yarn over and you're going to pull through both of those loops. And that creates a regular single crochet stitch. I'm going to put my stitch marker in that last stitch. And like I said, I should have 18 stitches in this round. Let's count them to be sure. For single crochets, so here's the thing. To count your stitches, you can either count the post of the stitch or you can count the top of the stitch. When it comes to single crochet stitches, it's hard to count the post because the post of the stitch is kind of short. And so it's sometimes hard to see, but it's pretty easy to count the top of the stitch because what you're counting is the 2 loops. And so here we have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the stitch marker is in the last stitch, which is 18. And that is the number of stitches we should have because we added 6 stitches to that round. So for this next round, guess what? We're adding 6 stitches again. In order to do that, in order for it to be systematic and for this to grow in a way like you just don't want to do 6 increases all together. The reason we call it a systematic increase is because of the number of, like, you place the increases evenly around. Now here's the thing. Some people do stagger their systematic increases and decreases because they don't want them right on top of each other. That works as well. However, for people who are just learning to do amigurumi, or if you're new to amigurumi, I do not recommend that you stagger when you first start. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't. But in order to understand how it works and how the increases work, I recommend that you just do them the regular way instead of trying to stagger them. Just let them fall one right on top of the other. And so in this case, for this next round, in order to do the increases, we're going to do single crochets in the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to increase on the 3rd stitch. So every 3rd stitch around, we are going to put 2 single crochets. And so this is going to be 1, this is going to be 1, and then we're going to do our increase. So we're going to put 2 here. So every 3rd stitch, you should be doing an increase. And so I say single crochet and 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And I'm just pulling out yarn right now. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Single crochet increase in the next, or 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 2 single crochet in the next. 1 single crochet in the next 2, 2 single crochet in the next. And when you are doing this, you're going to do it. If you're following a pattern, you're going to do your systematic increases for however many rounds they tell you to do it. What is happening is your head is growing. So this is like your circumference of your head. However big you want your head to be is going to be determined by how many rounds of increases you do. That will determine how big your head is. Once you get your head to the size that you want it, you're going to stop doing those systematic increases and you're just going to do single crochets in every stitch around until the head is the length that you want it. And then you're going to start doing decrease rounds to bring the head back in to create your neck. And like I said, so this is how the systematic increases work. This is what your single crochet stitches should look like. And again, we're going to keep doing this until the head is at the size that we want. And so I'm going to do one more round. And if you understand how the systematic increases work, then you should already know what this next round is going to be. If the last round we did 1 single crochet in the 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet in the 3rd, this is going to be 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase on the 4th, because again, we are doing a systematic increase. So that was increase. We're going to do 1 single crochet in 3. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to increase on the 4th. 1, 2, and 3. And increase on the 4th. Now, if you are watching this video, because I'm going to go ahead and make this public, if you are watching this video and you are not a part of the Fall Doll Crochet Along 2020, it is too late to sign up for it now because sign-ups closed earlier this month. Today is, what is today? October 22nd. We're actually almost wrapping this up. And like I said, one of the participants let me know that she was having some issues and she was like, just, hey, I need some help. And I appreciate her saying that. And I told, you know, like I said, we've already talked and I think we have fixed her problem. However, in case there is someone else in that crochet along who didn't want to speak up or who hasn't started yet and they don't know that they're going to run into this same problem, here's a video to help. Okay. And here's the other thing. If you want to know whether or not you did the round correctly, when you get to the end of this round, because we are not staggering our increases, we're doing them, they're one right on top of the other. Because you started with the single crochet and the next 3 stitches increase on the 4th, you should be ending with the increased stitch. If for some reason you do not end with an increase stitch and you're on an increased row, that means your count was off somewhere. Somewhere you didn't do the right number of stitches, because this should end with an increase. And you should also have 6 increases because we're adding 6 stitches on every round. Okay? So I'm going to stop here. Like I said, if you're in the crochet along, then you know what to do next and how big this is supposed to be and everything. If you're not in the crochet along, this probably helps you to be able to, you know, you can probably figure out what you're supposed to do and where you're supposed to go next. Like I said, if you're not in the crochet along, it is too late to sign up for this one, but stay tuned. I don't have any more planned for this year, but for 2021, we might try this again. We might do another crochet along, but there are no additional crochet alongs planned for this year. I do have a couple of pattern releases. Ooh, I say that, and it's October 22nd. Like, geez, Louise, girl. I do hope to release about 2 more patterns before the year's end. And so you can find all of my crochet doll patterns. They are available in my Etsy shop, which is my etsy.com/shop/my-pretty-brown-doll. You can also find them on Ravelry. I'll leave links to those places in the description. For the participant of the crochet along, this current crochet along, I hope this was helpful and it helps you know, kind of, I don't want to say fix your problem because I don't feel, you know, again, thank you for asking the question. I hope this helps. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. If you're not in the crochet along and you do have questions for me, feel free to ask. I will answer them or either guide you to a place where you can get an answer. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.